In life, we all encounter different personalities. Some uplift us, while others can drain our energy and hold us back. In today's video, we're diving into 10 types of people you should always stay away from. These are the individuals who might look good on the surface, but their influence can be toxic to your growth, happiness, and well-being. Whether it's constant negativity, manipulation, or deceit, their behaviors can affect your mental and emotional health. But don't worry, because by identifying these people early on, you can protect your peace and energy. And in this video, we'll break down exactly who these people are and why staying clear of them is crucial for your success and happiness. If you've ever felt drained or confused by someone's behavior, this is for you. So, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. Stick around till the end, because we'll also be giving you tips on how to deal with these types of people should they show up in your life. Trust me, you'll want to keep watching. This is information that could change your relationships, your mindset, and your life. Let's jump in. 1. The constant critic. The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. This Stoic insight from Marcus Aurelius invites us to reflect deeply on the words of the constant critic, the person who endlessly points out flaws, shortcomings, or imperfections. Their opinions often lack substance, coming not from wisdom or insight, but from their own inner turmoil. Engaging with such criticism can lead us to question our worth, but Stoicism reminds us that the value of an opinion lies in its foundation. When the critic speaks, ask yourself, does their judgment come from knowledge, or is it mere noise? By discerning the difference, you protect your peace and focus on what truly matters, growing in wisdom and strength. A constant critic often projects their insecurities onto others, a behavior rooted in their inability to address their own flaws. Stoicism teaches us that we are not responsible for another person's inner discord. Epictetus reminds us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. The critic's words may be harsh, but they only harm us if we grant them power. Instead of internalizing their negativity, we can choose to see it as a reflection of their struggles, not a reflection of our worth. This practice not only shields us from emotional harm, but also cultivates compassion for those trapped in cycles of judgment. Life is a continuous journey of self-improvement, and Stoicism encourages us to focus on our actions rather than the opinions of others. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus Aurelius advises. A constant critic thrives on engaging in endless debates, questioning your choices, and undermining your confidence. But when you center yourself in action, living by your values and striving for excellence, their words lose significance. The path of Stoicism is not about proving yourself to others, but about aligning your deeds with reason and virtue. In doing so, the noise of the critic fades into the background, replaced by the clarity of purpose. Criticism, even when relentless, can become a tool for growth when approached with a Stoic mindset. Seneca wrote, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When a critic points out a flaw, evaluate it dispassionately. If the critique holds truth, embrace it as an opportunity to learn and improve. If it does not, let it pass without attachment. This balanced approach transforms every interaction, even with the most negative people, into a chance for reflection and self-mastery. The constant critic may intend to wound, but your response can turn their words into stepping stones toward resilience and self-awareness. Engaging with constant critics can drain your energy and divert your focus from what is essential. Stoicism teaches us the importance of guarding our mental space. Marcus Aurelius cautioned against letting external distractions disturb your inner calm, urging, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When critics attempt to disrupt your peace, remind yourself of this power. Set boundaries that protect your mental clarity, not out of anger or resentment, but as a form of self-respect. By doing so, you preserve your energy for pursuits that align with your goals and values, rather than wasting it on fruitless confrontations. A Stoic life is one of discernment, where we choose whose opinions to value and whose to dismiss. Not all voices carry equal weight, and the constant critic often speaks not from wisdom, but from a place of dissatisfaction or envy. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, Marcus Aurelius reminds us. Instead of mirroring the critic's negativity, rise above it. Focus on cultivating virtues like patience, humility, and strength, which no amount of criticism can tarnish. The critic may persist, but their words become irrelevant when measured against your unwavering commitment to live virtuously. The constant critic serves as a test of your inner stability, a challenge to apply Stoic principles in the face of negativity. Their presence in your life may be unavoidable, but your reaction to them is entirely within your control. As you embody Stoic wisdom, you find that their criticisms no longer provoke or unsettle you. You develop the ability to navigate their negativity with grace, seeing their words for what they are, empty expressions of their own struggles. In doing so, you free yourself from the chains of external validation, grounding your sense of self in the enduring strength of Stoic philosophy. 2. The manipulator. The mind that is enslaved to passion is like a ship tossed by the waves. This wisdom from Seneca offers a lens through which to view the manipulator, a person whose actions are guided by their own desires, often at the expense of others. Manipulators excel at creating emotional turbulence, using charm, guilt, or deceit to bend situations to their advantage. They aim to disrupt your reason and anchor you to their needs. Stoicism, however, teaches us to ground ourselves in logic and virtue, resisting the pull of external forces. By recognizing their tactics, we maintain our autonomy and chart a steady course toward our own principles. Manipulators often exploit emotional vulnerabilities, preying on your empathy or fears to achieve their goals. Epictetus reminds us, "Remember, it is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting." The manipulator's actions are only as effective as the weight you assign to them. When you detach emotionally and evaluate their behavior through a Stoic lens, their influence weakens. By anchoring yourself in reason, you can observe their tactics without becoming ensnared, preserving both your dignity and peace of mind. At the core of manipulation lies an illusion, a distorted narrative designed to control your perception. Marcus Aurelius advises, "If someone can show me my error and prove I am wrong, I will gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone." This pursuit of truth disarms the manipulator, whose schemes rely on obscuring reality. By seeking clarity and questioning their motives, you unravel their web of deceit. Stoicism equips you to prioritize truth over convenience, enabling you to navigate manipulative relationships with integrity and wisdom. Manipulators often rely on creating a sense of urgency or dependency, forcing you to act without reflection. Stoicism counsels patience and deliberation. "Take a stand," Marcus Aurelius wrote, "and do not be buffeted by the waves." When faced with manipulative demands, pause and reflect before responding. This moment of stillness allows you to regain control over your choices, ensuring they align with your values rather than the manipulator's agenda. Through patience, you transform their attempts to pressure you into opportunities to assert your independence. Setting boundaries is an essential defense against manipulators, but these must be rooted in Stoic principles rather than anger or resentment. No man can rob us of our free will, Seneca reminds us. Manipulators seek to erode your autonomy, but by defining clear limits, you protect your freedom. These boundaries are not acts of hostility, but affirmations of self-respect. They serve as reminders that while you cannot control another's behavior, you can always control your response, choosing actions that reflect your inner strength and virtue. Stoicism teaches us that manipulators often reveal their intentions through inconsistency and contradiction. Observing their patterns without judgment allows you to anticipate their tactics and respond effectively. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca observed. By refusing to react impulsively to their schemes, you strip away the power of their manipulative narratives. Instead, you focus on what is real and within your control, breaking free from their influence while maintaining your composure and clarity. The manipulator challenges you to embody the Stoic ideal of equanimity. Their actions may test your patience and resolve, but they also offer opportunities for growth. By practicing discernment, self-restraint, and resilience, you transform their attempts at control into lessons in personal mastery. Through Stoicism, you learn to navigate their presence with grace, neither succumbing to their schemes nor allowing them to disrupt your peace. In doing so, you assert your freedom, anchoring your sense of self in the unshakable foundation of reason and virtue. 3. The chronic complainer. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Marcus Aurelius's timeless advice offers a way to navigate life around the chronic complainer, a person who persistently focuses on problems, real or imagined, without seeking solutions. Chronic complainers have a unique ability to drain energy, pulling others into their endless loop of negativity. Stoicism reminds us that while we cannot change their behavior, we can change our response. By embodying resilience, reason, and optimism, we shield ourselves from their influence and serve as a quiet counterpoint to their constant discontent. The chronic complainer often seeks validation or attention through their grievances, but Stoicism warns against giving undue importance to external noise. You have power over your mind, not outside events, Marcus Aurelius reminds us. When faced with their negativity, resist the urge to be drawn into their vortex of dissatisfaction. Instead, focus on maintaining your inner calm. Their complaints, like the wind, may swirl around you, but you have the ability to stand firm, rooted in your principles and impervious to their attempts to disrupt your peace. To a chronic complainer, every situation is a problem waiting to be amplified. Epictetus counsels, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective invites us to see their complaints not as personal affronts, but as reflections of their inner struggles. Their constant dissatisfaction has little to do with external circumstances and everything to do with their perception. By viewing their behavior through this lens, you cultivate compassion without becoming entangled in their negativity. Their words lose their power when you recognize them as expressions of their own turmoil, not an objective reality. The chronic complainer thrives on attention, but Stoicism advises us to redirect our focus. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Instead of debating or attempting to change their mindset, use their presence as an opportunity to strengthen your own character. Respond with patience and understanding, but do not allow their negativity to derail your pursuit of virtue. By living as an example of fortitude and optimism, you offer an alternative to their worldview without needing to confront them directly. Setting boundaries with a chronic complainer is an act of self-preservation. Seneca reminds us, Associate with people who are likely to improve you. While it's not always possible to avoid complainers entirely, you can limit the extent of their influence by choosing when and how to engage. Boundaries are not acts of rejection, but affirmations of your commitment to protecting your mental clarity and emotional well-being. Through these limits, you preserve your energy for meaningful connections and endeavors that align with your values. The Stoic approach to dealing with a chronic complainer also involves practicing gratitude as a counterbalance to their negativity. Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them, Marcus Aurelius wrote. When their complaints threaten to overshadow your perspective, consciously refocus on the abundance and opportunities around you. Gratitude serves as an antidote to their pessimism, anchoring you in the positive aspects of life and fortifying your resilience against their influence. The chronic complainer provides an opportunity for Stoic practice, challenging you to exercise patience, compassion, and emotional detachment. Their negativity, while draining, is not insurmountable. By adhering to Stoic principles, you maintain your peace and clarity, transforming their presence into a lesson in self-mastery. You cannot change their outlook, but you can fortify your own, ensuring that your well-being remains untouched by their ceaseless complaints. In doing so, you embody the Stoic ideal of living with equanimity, grounded in reason and unshaken by the turbulence of others. 4. The drama magnet. Throw away your books. Stop letting yourself be distracted. That is not allowed. Instead, like someone dying, look carefully at what is the matter at hand and recognize it. This insight from Marcus Aurelius resonates deeply when confronting the drama magnet, a person who thrives on chaos, creating unnecessary conflict and emotional turmoil wherever they go. These individuals pull others into their web of exaggerated crises and trivial disputes, diverting focus from what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us to detach from such distractions, focusing instead on what is within our control and cultivating a life of peace and purpose. Drama magnets often fuel their existence by amplifying insignificant issues into catastrophic events, dragging those around them into their storm. Epictetus reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. A drama magnet's crisis only becomes your crisis if you allow their narrative to take root in your mind. By recognizing their behavior as a reflection of their own emotional instability, you can choose to remain a calm observer rather than an unwitting participant in their theatrics. This detachment is not indifference, but a deliberate act of self-preservation rooted in Stoic wisdom. Engaging with a drama magnet often feels like stepping into quicksand. Each attempt to reason or assist seems to draw you further into their chaos. Marcus Aurelius advises, you always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Drama magnets often seek to provoke reactions, feeding off emotional responses to validate their worldview. By withholding judgment and refusing to react impulsively, you deprive them of the fuel they need to perpetuate their cycles of drama. Stoicism teaches us to anchor ourselves in reason and virtue, remaining unshaken by external chaos. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, drama magnets challenge us to put this philosophy into practice, reminding us that their turmoil does not have to affect our inner peace. By refusing to internalize their emotional turbulence, you assert control over your state of mind, ensuring that their storms do not become your own. One of the most effective ways to deal with a drama magnet is by setting firm boundaries. Seneca cautioned, we are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Drama magnets prey on our imagined obligation to solve their problems or participate in their narratives. By defining clear limits on your involvement, you protect your emotional and mental resources, preserving them for pursuits that align with your values and contribute to your growth. Boundaries are not acts of rejection, but affirmations of self-respect and autonomy. The presence of a drama magnet can serve as a valuable opportunity for reflection and growth. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to live a good life. If there are gods and they are just, then they will not care how devout you have been, but will welcome you based on the virtues you have lived by. Rather than succumbing to the distractions they create, focus on embodying the Stoic ideals of patience, compassion, and self-discipline. Their chaos becomes an external test, sharpening your ability to maintain composure and clarity under pressure. Drama magnets serve as a mirror, reflecting the areas where we can strengthen our Stoic practice. Their presence challenges us to cultivate emotional resilience, sharpen our focus on what truly matters, and resist the pull of external distractions. By navigating their behavior with calm detachment and steadfast virtue, we emerge stronger and more centered, embodying the Stoic ideal of equanimity in the face of life's inevitable disturbances. 5. The envious underminer. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This profound Stoic principle from Marcus Aurelius guides us when dealing with the envious underminer, those who seek to diminish others' accomplishments because they cannot celebrate their own. Envy is their fuel, and their undermining tactics often manifest as subtle criticisms, backhanded compliments, or deliberate attempts to sow doubt. Recognizing their behavior not as a reflection of your worth, but as an indicator of their internal struggle, empowers you to rise above their negativity and turn their challenges into opportunities for growth. Envious underminers are often consumed by their inability to reconcile others' success with their own perceived inadequacies. Epictetus reminds us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When faced with their attempts to belittle or undermine, the Stoic response is to remain steadfast, focusing on your goals and maintaining your composure. Their actions lose power when met with indifference, as your achievements stand untouched by their efforts to diminish them. By responding with calm assurance, you deny them the satisfaction of influencing your emotional state. Marcus Aurelius advises, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Envious underminers thrive on creating self-doubt in their targets, hoping to weaken their resolve. By recognizing this strategy, you can choose to fortify your inner confidence. Reframe their criticisms as opportunities for introspection and growth, asking yourself whether their words carry any constructive truth, or if they are merely veiled attempts to project their own insecurities. This discernment allows you to extract value from their negativity while discarding its harmful intent. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the only true good, and the envious underminer's actions are a departure from this ideal. Seneca wrote, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable." Their envy often stems from fear of being left behind or overshadowed. Instead of resenting them, practice compassion. Their behavior reveals their inner turmoil, not your inadequacies. While this does not excuse their actions, it provides context that helps you detach emotionally from their attempts to undermine you. Compassion does not mean tolerating toxicity, but rather understanding it without letting it affect you. Setting boundaries with an envious underminer is an essential act of self-respect. As Seneca noted, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Surrounding yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you fosters an environment conducive to growth and fulfillment. By limiting your exposure to those who attempt to drag you down, you preserve your energy for meaningful relationships and pursuits. Boundaries are not only defensive mechanisms, but also affirmations of your commitment to living virtuously and purposefully. The envious underminer's behavior offers an opportunity to reflect on your own character. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus Aurelius urged. Let their negativity serve as a reminder of the importance of celebrating others' successes and fostering a spirit of collaboration rather than competition. By embodying these virtues, you not only rise above their envy, but also inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positivity. The envious underminer's attempts to diminish you cannot succeed if you remain grounded in your principles and purpose. Their actions, though disruptive, are transient, while the strength you cultivate through Stoic practice endures. By navigating their behavior with patience, clarity, and integrity, you transform their envy into an opportunity to reinforce your resolve and deepen your commitment to living a life guided by virtue and reason. In doing so, you embody the Stoic ideal of equanimity, standing firm in the face of adversity and unshaken by the insecurities of others. 6. The dishonest deceiver. Don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. This counsel from Marcus Aurelius is vital when confronting the dishonest deceiver, a person who thrives on manipulation and falsehood, often to the detriment of those around them. Deceivers weave lies not only to obscure the truth, but to gain an advantage, exploiting trust for their personal benefit. Their duplicity tests our patience and challenges our ability to remain steadfast in integrity. Stoicism offers a framework to navigate such interactions with wisdom and resilience, preserving our sense of purpose and moral clarity. Dishonest deceivers often distort reality to serve their ends, creating a fog of uncertainty and mistrust. Yet, as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When confronted with deceit, the Stoic approach is to pause, reflect, and respond with reason rather than emotion. Recognize their lies as external events beyond your control, and focus instead on maintaining your own honesty and composure. This deliberate detachment ensures that their deceit does not entangle you in reactive anger or retaliation. The Stoic concept of living according to nature emphasizes aligning oneself with truth and virtue. Seneca wrote, "The greatest thing is to have a mind that is unshaken by the storms of life." When dealing with a deceiver, their falsehoods become a test of your commitment to truth. While it is tempting to retaliate or expose them publicly, Stoicism teaches us to act with prudence, ensuring that our responses align with our principles rather than descending into the same dishonesty we despise. Truth becomes your armor, and integrity your guiding star. Dishonest deceivers often prey on the goodwill and trust of others, exploiting vulnerabilities to achieve their goals. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This principle encourages us to rise above the deceiver's tactics, refusing to adopt their methods even in self-defense. Instead, seek to cultivate relationships rooted in transparency and sincerity, creating a network of trust that renders the deceiver's influence ineffective. By surrounding yourself with honorable individuals, you mitigate the damage they can inflict. Stoicism also teaches us to remain vigilant, recognizing deception without succumbing to cynicism. Epictetus advises, "Appearances to the mind are of 4 kinds. Always then be on the watch." Rather than becoming paranoid or distrustful of everyone, practice discernment. Evaluate words and actions critically, seeking evidence before forming judgments. This balanced approach allows you to identify dishonesty without allowing it to erode your capacity for trust in the wider world. Vigilance is a tool, not a barrier. Seneca reminds us that he who has great power should use it lightly. While this may refer to literal power, it also applies to the influence we wield over our own actions. The presence of a dishonest deceiver may tempt us to exert control or manipulate circumstances to expose them. Yet, Stoicism calls us to practice restraint, recognizing that our true power lies in self-control. By refusing to stoop to their level, we preserve our integrity and demonstrate the strength of character that transcends their duplicity. Dealing with a dishonest deceiver is an opportunity for personal growth. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Their falsehoods may disrupt external circumstances, but they cannot touch your inner resolve unless you permit it. Use their deceit as a reminder to fortify your own commitment to truth and virtue, allowing their actions to sharpen your clarity and resilience rather than undermining them. The dishonest deceiver cannot define you unless you allow them to. Their lies and manipulation, though challenging, are transient. By adhering to the Stoic principles of honesty, vigilance, and self-control, you rise above their deceit, demonstrating the enduring power of integrity in a world often clouded by falsehood. 7. The energy vampire. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, Marcus Aurelius observed, a profound truth that resonates when dealing with the energy vampire. These individuals drain vitality from those around them, not through malicious intent, but often through their relentless negativity, neediness, or drama. Their presence can be exhausting, leaving little room for personal growth or tranquility. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-mastery and emotional resilience, provides a framework for preserving your energy and peace in their presence. Energy vampires often thrive on drawing others into their chaos. They can sap your focus and calm by amplifying trivial matters or projecting their insecurities onto you. Epictetus teaches us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their energy-draining behavior becomes powerless when you choose not to engage. By setting boundaries and maintaining emotional detachment, you can safeguard your inner calm and redirect your attention to pursuits that align with your values and goals. Marcus Aurelius advises, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Energy vampires often aim to control the emotional landscape around them, leaving others to navigate the turbulence they create. Recognizing their behavior as external noise allows you to center yourself, focusing on what you can control, your reactions, thoughts, and priorities. By practicing this mental discipline, their attempts to unsettle you lose their potency. Seneca reminds us, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This principle underscores the importance of curating relationships that nurture rather than deplete your energy. While compassion is essential, it does not mean tolerating toxic or draining behavior indefinitely. Recognizing when an energy vampire's presence is hindering your growth is a critical step toward cultivating a supportive and uplifting environment. Limiting exposure to their negativity is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. Stoicism encourages us to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and learning. As Epictetus advises, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. An energy vampire's presence tests your ability to maintain composure and focus under pressure. Use these encounters as opportunities to practice patience and empathy without compromising your well-being. Their behavior, though draining, becomes a mirror through which you can assess and strengthen your boundaries and resolve. Compassion is an essential Stoic virtue, but it must be balanced with wisdom, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." While it is important to understand the struggles that may drive an energy vampire's behavior, this understanding should not come at the expense of your mental health. Offering support with clarity and limits allows you to uphold compassion without becoming ensnared in their patterns. Energy vampires serve as a reminder of the value of solitude and self-reflection. Seneca said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." Time spent alone, away from draining influences, restores balance and clarity. Use moments of solitude to recharge and recalibrate, reconnecting with your values and priorities. This practice not only fortifies you against external drains, but also deepens your resilience, ensuring you approach life with renewed vigor and purpose. By embodying these Stoic principles, you protect your energy and thrive, regardless of the external demands placed upon you. 8. The overly competitive rival. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic principle resonates deeply when dealing with the overly competitive rival. Such individuals view life as a zero-sum game, constantly striving to outdo others rather than focusing on their own growth. Their relentless pursuit of superiority can provoke frustration or insecurity, but Stoicism teaches us to transform these encounters into opportunities for self-improvement and resilience. An overly competitive rival often fixates on comparison, seeking validation through the defeat of others. Yet, as Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Their rivalry loses its sting when you cease to participate in the competition they construct. Instead of mirroring their behavior, direct your energy inward, focusing on personal growth and mastery of your own goals. This redirection of effort fosters true freedom and shields you from their attempts to provoke rivalry. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of focusing on what is within your control. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Rivals may project their insecurities onto you, but their behavior has no bearing on your worth or progress unless you allow it. By focusing on your own values and objectives, you dissolve the power their competitiveness holds over you. Their rivalry becomes irrelevant in the light of your self-determined path." Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This guidance encourages us to embody virtue rather than engaging in fruitless comparisons. When faced with an overly competitive rival, the best response is to uphold integrity and humility. By remaining grounded in your principles, you not only resist their provocations, but also serve as an example of how true excellence is achieved, not by undermining others, but by uplifting yourself. The Stoic idea of amor fati, love of fate, offers another lens through which to view rivalry. An overly competitive rival can be seen not as a threat, but as a challenge that sharpens your character. Epictetus taught, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Their presence pushes you to clarify your values, refine your goals, and cultivate patience. Rather than resenting their rivalry, embrace it as a tool for growth, using their energy to fuel your progress." Overly competitive individuals often thrive on provoking reactions, seeking to unnerve or distract you. Seneca reminds us, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." By withdrawing attention from their antics and focusing on your purpose, you deny them the satisfaction of influence. This mental discipline not only protects your peace, but also reinforces your independence, ensuring that your efforts remain aligned with your priorities rather than their provocations. Stoicism also encourages us to approach others with understanding, even when they challenge us. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, Ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Recognizing that the rival's competitiveness may stem from insecurity or fear allows you to respond with empathy rather than anger. While this does not excuse their behavior, it prevents their actions from disrupting your emotional balance. The overly competitive rival is a fleeting influence, incapable of shaping your destiny unless you permit it. By embracing Stoic principles, focusing on personal growth, practicing emotional detachment, and cultivating empathy, you rise above their rivalry. Their presence becomes not a source of frustration, but a reminder of your resilience and commitment to living according to your values. 9. The self-centered narcissist. The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that, Marcus Aurelius advises in his Meditations, emphasizing the importance of focusing on one's own actions rather than being consumed by the behavior of others. This profound wisdom offers a crucial perspective when encountering a self-centered narcissist. Such individuals often operate from a place of inflated self-importance, believing that their needs, desires, and experiences are the only ones of significance. Stoicism teaches us that how we react to others is within our control, and by embodying virtue and wisdom, we can maintain our peace even in the face of narcissism. Narcissists seek constant admiration and validation, often disregarding the needs or feelings of others. They can drain emotional energy with their self-centered behavior, demanding attention and elevating themselves at the expense of those around them. However, as Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The key to dealing with a narcissist lies not in trying to change them, but in mastering how you respond. When you recognize that their behavior is outside your control, you can free yourself from the emotional manipulation that often accompanies such interactions. Seneca reminds us, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." The narcissist's constant need for validation can pull you into their orbit, demanding that you focus on their desires and concerns. Yet, Stoicism teaches that we must not be swayed by the distractions of others. We are masters of our time and attention, and to give in to the narcissist's demands is to relinquish control over our own lives. Instead, by setting boundaries and limiting emotional investment in their self-centeredness, we reclaim our autonomy and preserve our inner peace. A narcissist often creates a false narrative in which they are the hero, the victim, or the center of attention. However, as Marcus Aurelius teaches, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Rather than getting entangled in the narcissist's delusion, we must focus on cultivating our own inner world. By nurturing gratitude, self-awareness, and humility, we remain grounded in our reality, free from the pull of their ego-driven drama. The narcissist's narrative becomes irrelevant when we choose to live by our own truth. The Stoic principle of emotional detachment offers another tool for managing interactions with a narcissist. Narcissistic individuals often seek to provoke emotional responses, whether through their behavior, words, or demands. However, as Epictetus counsels, if someone does wrong, it is not a reflection on you but on them. When we practice emotional detachment, we become impervious to the narcissist's attempts to manipulate or provoke us. Their actions no longer have the power to disturb our inner calm because we recognize that their behavior is a reflection of their own insecurities, not a judgment of our worth. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the importance of self-awareness. Know thyself, Socrates famously said. A narcissist's behavior may trigger feelings of anger, resentment, or frustration, but by practicing self-awareness, we can observe these emotions without identifying with them. The narcissist's behavior is an external event, and our emotional response to it is within our control. By examining our own reactions with clarity and equanimity, we gain the power to choose how we engage with them, or whether we engage at all. Seneca also teaches that we should associate with people who are likely to improve you. The self-centered narcissist does not seek to elevate others, and their energy often drains those around them. It is vital, then, to curate your relationships carefully. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and support your growth, rather than those who focus on diminishing others to elevate themselves. By investing in relationships that nurture your character, you strengthen your ability to resist the toxic pull of narcissism and maintain a sense of purpose aligned with your values. In the face of a narcissist, Stoicism encourages us to live with integrity, refusing to mirror their behavior. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The narcissist may try to provoke conflict, dominate conversations, or manipulate situations, but the Stoic response is always to remain grounded in virtue. By consistently acting with wisdom, kindness, and self-respect, we demonstrate that true strength lies not in self-aggrandizement, but in humility and compassion. The self-centered narcissist represents a challenge to our ability to maintain emotional resilience and inner peace. However, Stoicism offers us the tools to navigate these challenges with grace. By focusing on what is within our control, practicing emotional detachment, and staying true to our values, we can rise above their behavior and cultivate a life of meaning and fulfillment. The narcissist's ego-driven narrative may dominate their world, but we can choose to live by a story rooted in virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. The negative influencer. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This wisdom resonates deeply when dealing with the negative influencer, a person whose behavior, words, or energy can have a toxic impact on those around them. They often spread negativity, pessimism, and doubt, draining others of their energy and motivation. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner strength, equanimity, and emotional resilience, equipping us with the tools to navigate such relationships with grace and wisdom, rather than being swept up in their negativity. The negative influencer thrives on drawing attention to the flaws or limitations of others, often using criticism, cynicism, or pessimism as tools to manipulate or control. They believe that by pointing out what is wrong, they can gain a sense of superiority or control over others. However, as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The key to dealing with a negative influencer is not to allow their words or actions to dictate our emotions or beliefs. Instead, we must choose how we respond, recognizing that we have control over our reactions, even when we cannot control their behavior. Seneca's insight into focusing on what we can control becomes particularly relevant in such situations. "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," he wrote. The negative influencer often magnifies problems or exaggerates difficulties, causing those around them to feel overwhelmed or anxious. However, by focusing on the present moment and taking practical steps toward what we can control, we resist the trap of being consumed by their negativity. Rather than giving in to their constant stream of complaints or judgments, we choose to direct our energy towards solutions, growth, and action. The Stoic practice of emotional detachment also plays a critical role in protecting ourselves from the negative influencer. "He who angers you conquers you," said Elizabeth Kenny, echoing a fundamental Stoic truth. By recognizing that we cannot control the thoughts, words, or actions of others, we disempower them from affecting our inner peace. The negative influencer may try to provoke, criticize, or manipulate us, but we have the power to detach emotionally from their influence. By refusing to internalize their negativity, we preserve our mental clarity and maintain our focus on what truly matters. In facing the negative influencer, it is important to remember that their actions often stem from their own insecurities or fears. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The negative influencer, caught in their own spiral of pessimism or self-doubt, projects their internal struggles outward. Recognizing this allows us to respond with empathy rather than frustration. Instead of viewing them as adversaries, we can understand them as individuals trapped by their own mindset, seeking control or validation. This perspective shifts our response from one of confrontation to one of compassion, which can diminish the emotional toll they take on us. Seneca's words also guide us in curating our relationships. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. A negative influencer's constant pessimism and criticism can drain your energy and impede your growth. By choosing to limit your exposure to such individuals, you protect your mental and emotional well-being. This doesn't mean cutting ties entirely with everyone who brings negativity, but rather establishing boundaries to prevent their influence from seeping into your life. Prioritizing relationships that uplift, inspire, and challenge you to grow will fortify your resilience and minimize the impact of negative influences. Stoicism teaches us to live according to our values, not according to the expectations or criticisms of others. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." When confronted with a negative influencer, the Stoic response is to remain anchored in our own principles and actions. Rather than being drawn into debates or engaging in negative exchanges, we continue to cultivate our virtues, wisdom, kindness, patience, and integrity. Our actions will always speak louder than the negativity directed at us. In all interactions, Stoicism encourages self-awareness and reflection. Epictetus advises, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When dealing with a negative influencer, this principle invites us to listen without judgment, seeking understanding instead of reacting impulsively. Often, the negative influencer may simply need to express their frustrations, and by listening empathetically, we can offer a calming presence without being pulled into their negative energy. This doesn't mean we condone their behavior, but that we maintain the clarity to respond with patience and wisdom. The negative influencer can be a significant challenge in our lives, but Stoicism offers powerful tools to maintain our peace and protect our energy. By focusing on what we can control, practicing emotional detachment, and cultivating empathy, we can navigate these relationships with strength and resilience. Their negativity need not define our reality. Instead, we choose to define ourselves through our actions, virtues, and responses. By living in accordance with Stoic principles, we rise above the negativity of others and create a life rooted in wisdom, purpose, and tranquility. Now that we've uncovered the 10 types of people you should always stay away from, it's clear how crucial it is to guard your energy and prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Surrounding yourself with the right people can make all the difference in your journey toward happiness, success, and personal growth. The toxic traits we discussed, from manipulation to negativity, can hold you back, but recognizing these behaviors is the first step in taking back control of your life. If any of these descriptions resonated with you, take it as a sign to reevaluate the relationships in your life. Remember, your environment shapes you, and the people you allow in it influence your mindset and your future. It's okay to set boundaries and distance yourself. It's not selfish, it's self-care. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you encountered any of these types of people? How did you handle it? Share your experiences in the comments below so we can all learn and grow together. And if this video helped you, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Together, let's build a community focused on positivity and personal growth. Until next time, take care of yourself and your circle.